The awareness that I'm talking about is the same in every human being. I am. The two words in the Bible. That is what the impersonal awareness is. I am. Not a Jane or Robert or Ramesh or Wayne or anyone. The impersonal awareness of existence. If it is difficult to understand this concept, and it is not easy because of only one thing, and that is one's mind and memory. But if you can imagine, not a very pleasant prospect, but if you can imagine that at any moment your entire memory has been wiped out, no memory, you don't know who you are, you don't know who your family is, whether you have a family, but you are fully conscious. No memory of what you are, then what will remain? What will remain, if there is no memory, is just this impersonal awareness of being. I am. And that is the only truth. And once anyone begins to think or talk about it, even this truth becomes a concept. But if you are able to be in that impersonal awareness, and it is possible. My concept is that every human being, whether he is a seeker or not, has this experience almost every day. That experience may last a few moments or it may last longer. When there is no thought, there is no thinking, there is no dipping into past memory, there is no thinking about future consequences. And those moments do happen in every human being. But what happens when those moments happen? If there is a spiritual seeker, and there has been some progress in the spiritual seeking, then the seeker ego says, those were beautiful moments. I was at peace, and I want more of those moments. If the ego is not a seeker, I mean a spiritual seeker, then that ego, which is not a spiritual seeker, when he comes into the picture, in those moments, the whole point is there is no personal ego. That is why those moments occur. But when in that experience is over and the ego comes in, the spiritual seeker says, I want more of that. And the ego who is not a seeker tells himself, I've been wasting my time. I should have been doing something. Go on, do something. That is the difference. So, for these moments to happen, you do not have to be a spiritual seeker, because you don't cause those moments. Those moments happen as God's grace. So, basically, apart from the ego, what is the human being? Apart from the ego is identification with a particular body, mind, organism and a name as a separate entity. And the really important point I am making is that this identification with a particular body, mind, organism and a particular name as a separate entity does not vanish from the sage. The only understanding is, according to my concept, I am not the doer, nor is anyone else the doer. That is the only understanding. But that understanding cannot remove identification with a particular body, mind, organism, and a name as a separate entity. Therefore, it is not that the sage does not consider himself a separate entity. He does. In order to live his life for the rest of the allotted span, the sage has to live as a separate entity. That is another big misconception. The sage not only becomes a perfect human being, but the sage regards everybody else as himself. Visitors come to me. They have been through other things. And the words universal love appeals to them. It has a unique attraction. Universal